welcome in everybody once again to another Johnny Torch Live program. Here, seated high atop the fair metropolis below. Metropolis we're going to be talking about a bit tonight. Here in stately Torch Tower, we bring you a Torch News Roundup today. This is Roundup 289. 289 roundups already and 252 live broadcasts. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Hopefully, I owed you guys a live stream. Haven't done one in a while. We did a couple of reviews, movie reviews lately. I hope you've seen them. Check out the Batman review. A very late The Batman review, but we got to it eventually. And we've got Madam Web, which is another late review, but it's out there now if you want to take a look. And we're going to talk some of the stuff that's going on today in pop culture, you know, the excitement we get from the superhero movies that are to come, at least some of them anyway, the ones that interest me. And unfortunately, there's not as many as there used to be. I don't know. What can I say? First, of course, we've got to get to the first order of business, which is make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Do all those great things that they tell you to do. Ring the bell for notifications. I'm sure we're going to get into a lot of exciting topics here, but first we have to talk about the Adventures of Bullets, Bourbon, Private Eye. That, of course, is my pride and joy. This is the latest issue that I have just gotten the copies of in my sweaty little hands up here in this heat wave in the Northeast. And it looks great. It looks stellar. And I tell you, for someone that doesn't do it, I don't know how to describe it to you, because it's just such a feeling of great accomplishment, great joy that you can conceive of this in your mind. And after a lot of hard work and a lot of sweat and toil, you can actually have this adventure, this story right in front of you, in your own hands, and see it brought to life in vivid color. It's just it's an emotional moment. You know, I don't want to make more of it. You know, it's not like the birth of a child or anything, but it's an emotional moment that it never fails to impact me every time I get one of these new issues in. And I hope it never will, because that feeling is just so wonderful. I hope it never goes away. But if you haven't checked it out yet, check out The Adventures of Bullets, Bourbon, Private Eye. Our most latest issue, Nursery Crimes, is the final issue in the 3-issue arc for the Man of Our Times storyline. We've got Pencil Neck returning after a stint in the asylum. He is apparently without his powers permanently after Bullets had nullified his powers. And apparently he's going to turn over a new leaf. He's going to become a humanitarian. There's some talk of him becoming police commissioner. A lot of reporting done by Iggy Duke, who is our new character we introduce here, which is sort of the crack investigative reporter, journalist of Stark City. Everybody goes to him for their news, and he's following up the story. He's sort of your old school, 1930s investigative reporter with a battered fedora, much like Bullets. He's a lot more cynical than Bullets. He's a lot, he's sort of jaded, I guess. He's seen a lot of stuff, and he's seen the bad side come out on top more often than not. In Bullets' case, he's more of an idealist. He still believes that the good guy's going to win and better days are coming for Stark City. And this baby can be yours for $4, only $4. All you have to do is get in touch with me, and I can get you an autographed copy. If not, you'll have to wait a bit until it gets listed on Indie Planet. From my past with them, I can tell you that's going to be a long wait. My experience with them, they take like 4 to 6 months to get listed on Indie Planet. I don't know why it takes them so long. I'm sure they have a lot of nominees to put on their website, but it takes way too long. So if you can't wait, just give me a DM on my Twitter page. If you look in the link in the description, you'll find my Twitter page. Very easy to give me a DM. I always look at them. I don't respond to every DM because a lot of people just want to kibitz and comment. And I'm not really much of a kibitzer, so I'm not going to really just get into a conversation in DMs. It's not my way. But it's mostly for business purposes. So if you are interested, you can give me an address and so forth, and I'll tell you where to send the money. And for 4 bits, you can get yourself a Bullets Bourbon most recent issue. 4 bits is $1, isn't it? I don't know. I never understood that back in the old days when they show these old movies and they say, "Oh, for 2 bits, I do this and do that." I think that's what, 50 cents. I don't know. 4 bits is $1, I guess. So this would be 4 bits times 4. Anyway, the scintillating conversation here. But if you can't wait, I'm also publicizing here. If you're watching this now, if you're watching this around the time it's being broadcast, you still have a week. You have about 8 days to get in on the Global Comics bundle sale that we've got going on. We've got all the issues bundled together in different bundles, which makes them very affordable. So if you want to read the most recent arc, the Man of Our Times arc, you get all 4 issues for only $7.77. I couldn't have planned that any better to have a great numeral significance there with $7.77 for the Man of Our Times arc. We also have the 3-issue Family Jewels arc, which I'm quite proud of. We got finished about 2 years ago, which was the famous Death of Bullets Bourbon storyline. Of course, if there's more issues in the series, you know he didn't die, but that was a really exciting one for me. And we've got the bundle, the trilogy bundle, we're calling it, which is the trade paperbacks that we've got of the first 3 issues, or the first 3 story arcs. You've got the first issue, you've got the second story, which is 2 issues in 1 story trade paperback, and we've got the 3-issue arc, When the Night Comes, in the 3rd trade paperback, I guess they call it. That's all put together very nicely in a bundle for like, I don't have the figures in front of me, but it's like $12 and change. And if you want the whole Megillah, like I like to say, if you want the whole Mammy Jamma, you can get the omnibus, the complete first season, which has everything I've written up until now that's been published all together for a steal for like $24 and change. For like, I don't know, under 25 bucks. I think it's like 500 plus pages. Is it something like that? Yeah, it's something like that. I don't know, but it's a steal at that price. So go on and check it out. Be sure to let us know what you think. And we're going to get into some exciting topics here now. We've got, before we get started, we've got what we like to call on the show a mailbag segment. Mailbag. I should have a theme song for the mailbag. You know, I think like I got this from like David Letterman when he used to have a mailbag segment, and it was they had a crazy song or something that he used to play, Paul Schaefer. But we've got a mailbag segment, so we want to read, and I always read all the comments I get if I can find them, because YouTube is pretty. They're not really reliable when I go to comments. They show me comments from like 3 months ago. I have to literally look up my videos to find the comments. So if you got a comment you want me to read and I haven't read it, just, I don't know, make another comment and remind me, because if I can't find it, I can't read it. All right, one of our good friends, one of the good friends of the channel, we always love to see his name pop up in the comment section, Bilbo Baggins 9451, gave a comment to our The Batman review 3 weeks ago. And I agree with a lot of what he says here. This is a very good comment, so we'll read it. The movie does nothing with the Batman that we haven't never seen before, but better. This is very true, of course. The Nolan Batman is basically what they're aping in the Batman. Only there was more color, there was more passion, there was better storytelling. Anyway, I digress. Let's let Bilbo do the talking. I've tried to give this multiple chances, but I think I settled on mediocre at best. I don't care if a character is race swapped. I can't talk today. I should point out before I get going here that I am very tired today and I cannot get any rest. So I am doing this under extreme exhaustion. So if I make plenty of mistakes, you're going to have to excuse me. I disagree with him here with this sentence. He says, I don't care if a character is race swapped like with Gordon or Catwoman. See, I think you're doing a disservice of the character, because a character is meant to be portrayed a certain way. I'm not going to get full into this, but you know, most of you that have watched me talk about this know what I mean about this. You know, white is not like a default setting that you can just change. I think you have to respect, if a character is white, that informs the character, the personality, and so forth. Because a lot of people are like, well, you can't change Black Panther because being an African prince is his personality, so that doesn't change. Well, yeah, you can say that, but being, you know, an Irish cop, I guess, is Gordon Irish? I'm not sure. He's kind of a redhead, I guess. I always took it he was Irish. You can't change him. You can't change Barbara. You can't change Catwoman. I know they've done that before in various mediums, but you're doing a disservice to the character by trying to change the whole perspective of the character changes. All right, so we continue. But they're not super memorable or noteworthy. He's talking about Gordon and Catwoman. Pattinson is good, but he's lacking that heart of gold that Batman usually has. Sure, Batman is a dark and brooding character, but at least you see a twinge of light. That's very true. I didn't think he was bad, but he seems like he's on autopilot, you know, for lack of a better term. You don't really get within in the heart of Batman, as he says. It's basically, you don't get in past the exterior. There's nothing likable about this character like the Conroy or even Bale performances. Very true. The action scenes and choreography are pretty solid for the most part, but this Batman kills multiple times. I've gotten into constant arguments with the fanboys about this. Batman swings a baseball bat at the guard's head and indisputably murders him. So much for the no-kill rule. I think I remember saying in the video that I didn't think he killed that much. I think I remember correctly, there is a scene that when he's fighting the guards or whatever they're, the Riddler gang or whoever is trying to blow up the reservoir, whatever the heck it was. I forgot most of this movie 10 minutes after I watched it. But I know he like inadvertently lets somebody shoot one of the Riddler's men and stuff. So again, this fails the Batman no-kill test. I forgot about this part that you're talking about where he swings a baseball bat. I imagine, yeah, if he hits a guy's head with a baseball bat, that's kind of tough to walk away from. Let's put it that way. The Batmobile chase was incomprehensible and hard to follow. Yeah, I gave it props because I liked that style Batmobile, but I know what you mean. It really wasn't particularly shot well. For sure, I agree with that. Sure, the colors and scenery look nice, but that's all it's got going for it. People complain about the editing in the Nolan films, but this scene in particular was hard to follow. Agreed. The plot was all over the place and tried to be too many things in a 3-hour time span. Tries to be somewhat an origin story, but at the same time, a crime drama without any of the thrills and chills of the Nolan trilogy offered. Exactly. This is much as I said in my review. And if you agree with Bilbo and me, check out that review of the Batman. It's one of my more popular ones. I've actually gotten a decent amount of views and a couple of likes, which is something that I always like to see. Makes me feel that these videos are not being wasted because nobody watches them. When I get like 5 or 6 views, it's a little disheartening. When you get into the 20s, for me anyway, I think it was like 28, 29 views I got. It's a little bit comforting. It's a little nice to know that, you know, people are watching and like Bilbo, that we can have a dialogue after, you know, you watch it. Be sure, let me know what you think. I always say, let me know in the comments, because, you know, agree or disagree, we're allowed to agree or disagree on this channel. You know, I don't censor any comments unless, of course, you're vulgar or doing spam links or something. But you know, if you completely disagree with me, that's fine. I'll read that comment as well as anything else. But again, thank you, Bilbo Baggins, for checking in with us, and I'm glad you pretty much agreed with me on that video, on that take of the Batman. All right, so that's the only mailbag question, the mailbag comment that we have. So we're going to get right on now to the next segment, which is our looking at. First off, we're going to look at the Venom Well, we're not going to look at the video because I'm always afraid I'm going to wind up getting copyright struck or something. But we're going to talk about the Venom video. So if you haven't seen the latest trailer for Venom 3, you're going to have to go and watch that on your own time. But we are going to talk about it here a little bit now. This movie has been called Venom: The Last Dance, the third and final part of the Venom trilogy. Now, a lot of people are shocked that we even got a Venom trilogy, honestly. This is Sony's crown jewel, basically, since Marvel/Disney got Spider-Man. Because they were left alone to play with most of the villains. They were left alone with Venom, at least. And they had a pretty good idea. They said, let's get Tom Hardy, great actor, put him with Venom, make him Eddie Brock so it's faithful to the comics, even though there's no Spider-Man, and let's see if we can have some fun. And they did a pretty good job at that. I think that first movie still holds up. I saw it maybe a year and a half ago or something again, and it holds up. It's pretty good. Venom: Let There Be Carnage, not as good, but it's still watchable. It's still very watchable. I think the problem with Let There Be Carnage was the script wasn't tight enough. They really needed to tighten that script up, because if you're going to use Carnage, that should be like a home run. And it was, well, I'm not a baseball guy, but what is it? Like maybe a base hit, a double play? I don't know. You got a couple guys on base, let's put it that way, but it really didn't really swing for the fences with that one. Now here, I'm kind of conflicted again, because it feels, once again, it feels more like the first film, looking at the trailer, than the second. But is that a good thing? I'm not sure, because I would have liked to see this series evolve. But it seems kind of like they're just doing Eddie and Venom road trip. And it really doesn't excite me the way it should. I mean, now with Carnage coming into it, that was exciting. They really didn't take advantage of Carnage as much as they should have. I mean, I understand there's only so much they could do, especially with a PG-rated film, which I was happy that they kept it PG-13. And I understand that the budget probably couldn't handle too much, shenanigans. This, it looks like they're understanding the concept of we don't have the budget for all that. So the Venom symbiotes are apparently attacking Earth. They're going to try to invade Earth, and it looks mostly like they're doing a practical effects movie, which will probably culminate with some other symbiotes to fight. So it's not going to be like, this big budget affair, which I think they kind of let us down with Carnage. I don't know. So I don't know. I mean, it looks like let's start with the pluses. The good thing about this is it doesn't look like they're going with a story that they were saying that they cribbed the story that was originally going to be in Madam Web, which was Venom goes back in time or something to save young Peter Parker. That's kind of what they were going to do with Madam Web. They basically brushed that to the side for Madam Web. It was like a subplot that really went nowhere, and they turned it into like Webb's Angels, where, Madam Web has to shepherd the three girls. And I was afraid that maybe the reason why they kind of swept that one aside was because they were going to use it in Venom 3, but it doesn't look like it. Which leads to another disappointing thing, where they're calling this The Last Dance, and the tagline is "Till Death Do They Part." Quite possibly the death of Eddie, and Venom can go on elsewhere with another host. Possibly the death of Venom, and they just put this character to rest. Possibly the death of both of them, because it doesn't seem like there's that many avenues they can go. And so if it is the death of this Sonyverse Venom, we're never going to have him meet Spider-Man. And that is a very disappointing turn of events. I mean, I suppose you could have used him with Tom Holland's. That was the biggest tease of all, where they teased Venom knowing Spider-Man and seeing the Tom Holland Spider-Man. Nothing was done with that. Absolutely nothing was done with it. They could arguably have used the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, particularly if, you know, I don't know that they're going to bring back those characters, but there's been a lot of rumor and innuendo where Andrew and or Tobey's Spider-Man are going to return somehow. It could be in an Avengers movie. It could be just another Spider-Man team up. It could be just a Sony movie. And I don't understand why they don't do that. They should just make they should make Spider-Man 4 and Amazing Spider-Man 3. Just do it. Who cares? Who cares? Apparently they're not going to do that, and we're going to have another Spider-Man-less Venom film, which is disappointing. Let's take a look at the cast here. Venom: The Last Dance stars Tom Hardy, naturally. Chiwetel Ejiofor, which again makes this kind of difficult to place this. It's obviously not in the MCU because he would naturally be Baron Mordo. Juno Temple, who sounds familiar, but I don't remember what she was in. Wasn't she the girl in the... She was young Talia, I think. Rhys Evans, who again is not... He's not unfamiliar to Spider-Man fans, right? He was the Lizard. What is he doing in this film? Peggy Lou, Aliana Ubach. Oh, I recognize that name. Yeah, she was in Beekman's World. She was like the original girl in Beekman's World. Love that show. And she was the best one. They had like 3 girls, and she was the best one. They got successfully lesser and lesser after her. But yeah, she was the best. I haven't seen her in anything in a long time. And Stephen Graham. The film was directed by Kelly Marcel from a screenplay she wrote based on a story by Tom Hardy and Marcel. The film is produced by Avi Arad, Matt Tolmach, Amy Pascal, Kelly Marcel, Tom Hardy, and Hutch Parker. Till death do they part. Tom Hardy returns in Venom: The Last Dance, coming exclusively to theaters this October. So they're not hedging their bets on when this is going to be. It's just going to be in October. But that's a good time. There's Halloween and everything, and I think it's going to feel right at home. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think. What do you think about the Venom 3 film? Do you think this is going to be a disappointment? It doesn't say in the credits that we're getting Anne back, which is, again, disappointing, but it's getting more and more difficult to justify her being in the story since she's obviously gone off and married that other guy. And I don't know. I mean, could you keep bringing her back as just a friend? That was one of the things I liked the most about the first 2 Venom movies, is that there was such an interesting dynamic between those 3 characters, Tom, Venom, and Anne. And I guess we're not going to get that in this one, which again might make sense actually, but I don't know. I'm going to miss her because they had a great chemistry. They had a great rapport, I think, all 3 of them. All right, so let me know what you think about Venom. And it looks like they're trying for some forced comedy again. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm open to this. This is one of the few films I'm open to. There's really nothing coming up that I'm excited for. There's just this where I'm moderately interested, and there's Superman. And we're going to talk about Superman in just a second. So let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think about Tom Hardy's Last Dance as Eddie Brock / Venom? Next up, we're going to talk some Superman, but we're going to talk about, this is the Lois and Superman show. Well, scratch that, reverse it. Superman and Lois, they're coming back for their final season. Are you excited about this? Are you kind of over it like I am? I mean, I really like these actors, Bitsy Tulloch and Tyler Hoechlin. But I don't know. The last season was really a downer for me, all about Lois surviving breast cancer. And Superman really didn't get a whole lot of focus. not a whole lot of action on his side. I would probably say the second season was the best. And even that wasn't really that great, if I must be honest with you. So I'm hoping they're really going to blow us away with this third season. I'm not going to put any money on it, though. But they had some exciting things to leave us with Lex Luthor at the end of season 3, was it? Yes. And who knows? I mean, you know, they could do something different with Lex Luthor that might make it really exciting. All right, Superman and Lois will return to the CW with its 4th and final season on Thursday, October 17th at 8 p.m. The show used to air on Tuesday nights, but the slot has been taken by WWE NXT. So they're getting NXT over there. I don't know. I mean, it feels like, I don't know. I feel like I should be more excited about this, but the CW verse just imploded. Honestly, if we're being honest, the first few seasons of each show, in some cases anyway, were good, and they just kind of fell apart, and it leaves me being less than excited. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. Most exciting is the news that we're getting a special 2-hour premiere event, meaning this opener will be feature length. That's pretty exciting. Brad Schwartz, president of entertainment for the CW, recently promised that the long-delayed season 4 is going to blow your minds and put the long wait down to the show's lengthy post-production process. I'm not kidding, the season is going to be one of the best shows on TV. I watched the first episode last night, and it's going to make you cry. It's amazing. Because of all the special effects, it could be ready for summer, but we feel like it would be wasted in the summer, so let's put it on the fall where we can sell it in the upfront and really, really talk about it. So there you go. That's the long wait. We waited what, a full year, I guess, before this goes on, and they're only getting 10 episodes, I think. I don't think it says here in the copy, but they're only getting 10 episodes, and you know, sometimes less is more. I guess we can't be too upset about that. They cut a lot of the actors into cameos, so I mean, we might see the Cushings. I don't think we're going to see them very much this season, which, again, there's probably nothing wrong with that. I think that's for the best. Probably going to see less of Mademoiselle Beppo, whatever her name was. Probably going to see less of maybe John and his daughter. I like John, you know, but again, this is Superman. You kind of have to have room for the Superman family. All right, so yeah, let me know what you think. Are you excited about this? The final season of Superman and Lois. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully we'll get some more excitement out of it and not just a family drama. I won't be holding my breath, but, you know, it is what it is. It's CW Superman, which means it's Superman by way of Dawson's Creek, which, again, is an acquired taste. What are you going to do? All right, so let's take a look at our final segment of the day. I know we're going through things pretty quick here. We've got Superman movie casting. And, again, I'm not a big fan of race-changing characters. I don't suppose a lot of race changes have been in this James Gunn Superman. It's Perry White has been race changed. That's the biggest disappointment so far, frankly. The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed Michaela Hoover will portray Cat Grant. It's the lady in the middle. She was last portrayed by, of course, Harrison Ford's wife. Of course, her name is failing me. But, yeah, she was on the CW Smallville show. She's supposed to be a blonde, I think, Cat Grant, but I don't know. I guess she's a dark-haired actress. I don't know if they're going to have her change her hair, dye her hair or something. Cat Grant is a seasoned journalist at the Daily Planet. Joining her is newcomer Christopher McDonald, stepping into the world of Metropolis as Ron Troop, a key reporter at the Daily Planet. I don't know if that's the guy on the right. I honestly don't. I know the guy on the left is Jimmy Olsen. The expansion follows the casting of veteran actor Wendell Pierce as Perry White and Saturday Night Live alum Beck Bennett as Steve Lombard. Yeah, Steve Lombard is supposed to be like a real obnoxious guy, and that'll be really funny if they play him right. I like seeing, for a change, because that would be like a great TV show. If you were going to do a great Superman TV show, in my opinion, you would do this. You would have all the familiar cast characters around the Daily Planet and how all that stuff goes on and affects Clark and Lois and this and that. And that's the fun of it, is having a lot of supporting characters. But, you know, they don't do that too much in the movies. So I don't know how far this is going to go. But it will be fun to see. Pierce is known for his commanding roles in The Wire and Suits, and will take the role of editor-in-chief. Meanwhile, Bennett is expected to add a humorous twist to The Newsroom as Lombard. Superman is currently scheduled to hit theaters July 11th, 2025. So we're only a year away, and they are halfway through shooting. And we have a few images, too, that I've picked up off the web, off the internets. And first here we have, everybody was really excited about this, and I was happy too to see this, that the Daily Planet building actually looks like the Daily Planet building. They've got the globe with the Daily Planet sign around it. It's over the doorway. I don't know if they're going to have one on top of the building. I would like them to have one on top of the building too, but I mean, if they got this, it's at least something. They've got the revolving door so that hopefully we'll see Clark Kent change into Superman again, much like Christopher Reeve movie. I mean, it's just certain things, the aesthetic has to be right. The aesthetic was terrible for Snyderverse Superman. I think in their heart of hearts, everybody has to know it. They have to know that the suit looks better in this film. The building looks better. The actors are more representative of what the comic characters were drawn like. You just have to drink this all in and be just so enthusiastic about what we have here. And let's see, according to this, I'm trying to find it. There is another image, if I can find it. Gosh. Here it is. This is what we were using for a thumbnail. This is the Daily Planet newspaper, I think. It could be the Metropolis Eagle. Yeah, there it is. It says on the left side, Metropolis Eagle, which is interesting because I don't think we've ever seen a newspaper war between, the Daily Planet and something else. I mean, I know in the Christopher Reeve film, Perry White is like worried about getting scooped. Cape Wonder, Stun City. But that's another aspect. Like I said, it would be fun to play up different things we haven't seen in the movies. It's been like since 78 since we've seen like the Daily Planet struggling to get a scoop. You know what I mean? It's always just, well, Lois is a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist, and that's fine. Maybe they got a battle going on between all the big newspapers in the city. And a place like Metropolis, I imagine they have like 3 or 4. So it probably is going to be something along those lines. Superman saves 20 after downtown building collapses. So this is also very exciting because it shows that Superman's going to be doing something in this film. It's not going to be, not to bash Superman and Lois, but, where he has like 5 seconds to do something or whatever. Apparently he gets around and does things in this film. Now we get another look at Superman's suit here, where we get to see he's got the trunks. A lot of people were on the fence, I guess, about this suit. I loved it from the beginning. The only thing I don't like about it is the emblem, the shield, as they say, the crest, the insignia of Superman. That to me is a little weak. I'm not going to lie. They could have very easily just got the 80s Superman logo, stuck it on there, everybody be happy. The cape looks fine. I don't have any issues with the collar, and some people are going nuts about that. You could see the belt a bit better in this picture, and I think that looks pretty good too. Because I was worried it was just going to be some little because Superman's belt was never known to be like that ostentatious, but it does kind of look, it looks like they spent some money on it. You know what I mean? It doesn't just look like a cheap, flimsy looking belt. I was kind of concerned about that. But yeah, so Erin Morrill is the name of the person that wrote this article about Superman. It kind of makes me wonder if that's like an anagram of Morgan Edge. I don't think it has all the letters for that. No. But that was something that popped into my mind, that maybe this has something to do with Morgan Edge. Because last we seen him was... gosh, what show used him? Didn't somebody use him not long ago? I think he was on Supergirl. I think. I don't know. It's been a long time. Max Lord, I think, is the one I'm thinking of, though. He was in Wonder Woman 84. I get them two mixed up because both of them are supposed to be like poo-poo heads that are rich and powerful and try to ruin people's lives, I guess. I don't know. I really hope they go the criminal scientist version of Lex Luthor, because I don't want him to be just another generic businessman. I mean, you can have that facade, sort of the public persona as he's a, millionaire or whatever. But I want to see him with the white lab coat on. I want to see him like making stuff. I don't think we've gotten enough of that really in Superman. I'm trying to think, really, haven't we got? I don't think we've got that since like Superman 4, honestly. That's one of the saving graces of Superman 4 to me, because everybody just dismisses Superman 4. But we actually got a more comic accurate Luthor there than in any other live action movie, I don't think. It's possible that's the most accurate Luthor we got was in Superman 4. And he's an inventor. He's a scientist. He's a tinkerer. And I want to see that side of Lex. Of course, everything else seems to be fine from what we know about Superman here in this. I mean, we don't know a whole heck of a lot. I'm going to say I'm hopefully, I'm hopeful. I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess, as they say. I'm not the biggest fan of James Gunn. I've said that many times. As a matter of fact, I just watched some of the Suicide Squad. As you know, I don't really watch a lot of R-rated movies. I have to be assured that it's going to be somewhat on the tame side. And of course, the Suicide Squad is R-rated for the gore mostly. I really didn't like that. And of course, I don't like movies where they curse every 15 seconds. I watch mostly for Harley Quinn. I mostly want to see Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, because I don't know how much more we're going to get of her as Harley. And she's perfect in that role, and she's excellent. I hope they hold on to her and give her a better Joker. And maybe they could use her in the Brave and Bold, at least in that new DCU. But again, the Suicide Squad is everything that I hate about James Gunn movies. It's basically, the bad taste. The jokes are in bad taste for the most part. The gore and stuff. Now, I know he's going to be somewhat limited in the gore and the vulgarities, because this is going to be a tentpole film for the new DCU. But again, the Guardians of the Galaxy were also PG-13 movies, and you did get away with a little bit there in terms of some things that I thought were not wildly appropriate for family audiences. So again, I am just cautiously optimistic. I'm going to have to wait and see. I don't know, but I feel like he's got his feet planted firmly on the ground on this. Whether he can take off remains to be seen, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be better than what Snyder was doing, because at least he knows the core tenets of these characters. I don't think he's going to have Superman knocking down buildings, fighting Zod, and killing a bunch of people. I don't think he's going to have some of these other heroes basically, trying to kill Superman the way Batman did. I think he's going to try to give us a textbook, default version of Superman that everybody can get behind. At least that's what I'm hoping. And that's what I'm thinking when I see all this stuff. All right, there's a couple more things that maybe we could talk about, but I don't have anything else ready here for this afternoon. So maybe we'll try to do another show because it just came to mind. I just saw on Twitter where the Karate Kid is 40 years old today. It's the 40th anniversary of the Karate Kid film, the original film. And we haven't talked a lot about Cobra Kai, the final season. Season 6 is coming up rapidly. And I'm seeing some, some talk about it now because it's going to be out in about a month. I think July, I want to say 18th. I'm not sure. We're going to talk about that next time. And hopefully we can put another show together soon. Again, as I just said, I'm not a big R-rated fan of R-rated movies. And so I'm not really getting in depth with Deadpool and Wolverine. So, that's another film that maybe I might try to watch on fast forward, like the Suicide Squad. And I'm sure I'll find some things to enjoy about that, because I would probably watch that mostly for Hugh Jackman, the same way I watched the Suicide Squad for Margot Robbie. Love both of them as actors. So I guess that's about it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you looking forward to Superman, the James Gunn movie, the Superman epic that is being made now? Great cast assembled for this film. Looks like it's going to be a stunner. And I just, I hope I'm not let down. I don't want to be let down. All right, so remember to like, share, and subscribe. Check out all our videos. Make sure you ring the bell, as they say. We have the Adventures of Bullets Bourbon Private Eye issue 12 out there ready for purchase. I am now fully at work. If you haven't seen our most recent video where we're talking about the story basically for issue 12, make sure you check that out. And you'll also get a sneak peek at issue 13. I'm working on issue 13 now, lucky number 13. And finally got all the pages ready to go. I've got, I've got the inking chores getting done. I don't have any colors actually yet. Once I get a couple of pages colored or a couple panels colored, I'll try to tease a few on my website. But make sure you check out Nursery Crimes right now, which is the most recent issue. And as I said before, we've got the bundle up still, the bundle sale for pretty much all the issues encompassing the Bullets Bourbon saga. Make sure you check them out while there's still time and while there is still a sale going on. And I promise you, I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Also, things I'm looking into, I'm not going to do the Suicide Squad review because I really didn't watch enough of it. If I was to give just like a quick encapsulation of it, it's like kind of a worse version of the original Suicide Squad film. I liked the original Suicide Squad film. Wasn't a masterpiece by any means. This is kind of like just taking it, like I said, into a slightly more vulgar and violent area. And Margot Robbie was still great as Harley Quinn. Idris Elba was good. A lot of characters getting killed off willy-nilly. I don't suppose this is in continuity still with Gunn's films that are coming out from Superman onward. So no review of that. But again, if I was to give it, I don't know. I can't rightly review it if I didn't watch the whole thing. But let's say maybe 1 star out of 5. I don't know. And I'm probably, I don't know. I might do a review of The Acolyte. I haven't decided yet. It's not very good. And I don't feel like I can add anything to it that hasn't already been said about it. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a video on that just to kill some time. It'll be fun in that aspect, because I've been as lenient as humanly possible with Disney Star Wars, but The Acolyte pretty much pushes all my buttons in the wrong way. Now, I know a lot of people will complain about, Ki-Adi-Mundi wasn't born yet. And, that's nerd crap that I really don't get into. If they want to change the year Ki-Adi-Mundi was born, I could give, use any metaphor you want. I don't know. I don't care. But the stupidity of the script, the blatant wokeness, the poor performances for the most part. There's really nothing to hang my hat on to even talk about. But, I've come to realize on YouTube, bashing things are more fun to record and listen to. So maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it. We'll see. Once this debacle is over in the next couple of weeks, I'm probably going to stick with it just out of pure blind curiosity. It's not so bad where I feel like I actually enjoyed the first 2 episodes. That's the strange thing. I was like, all right, let me see where this is going. And then the last 2 episodes were so bad. I was like, I don't know, man, But again, we'll see. We'll see if we can make it out through the whole thing. I mean, Andor bored me to tears. And I don't know if I would say this is as boring, if that's a point in its favor, but it's not well made. Andor was well made. You can be well made and be boring, and you can be interesting and bad. And it's up to you what you think is better and what you think is worse, I guess. All right, so like I said, a lot of topics I'd like to bring up. So hopefully we get to that. I'd like to talk more about comics. We haven't gone into another one of those comic discussions. There's so much going on in the world of comics, and indie comics is a war zone now. Let's put it that way. Since, shots were fired between CG and Rippaverse, and I try to just take the middle of the road, not because I don't have convictions one way or the other, but I just remain loyal to my own principle, which was originally what CG's principles were before it started getting into a flame war with another company, and I just let that guide my principles and dictate where I'm going from here. All right, so I've kept you long enough. We'll see if we can get to some more of those discussions at another time. Go out there, enjoy your Saturday. The only way to spend your Saturday here with us on the Johnny Torch program, and I'll release you to enjoy your Saturday. And again, we try to do a show every Saturday. Sometimes Sunday, it depends. Sometimes a Wednesday if I can find time. We'll see what we can do to make this a recurring program. Just try to keep it going every week. We'll see what we can do. All right, and so until next we meet, this is Johnny Torch reminding you once again, keep the flame burning brightly, and I'll be with you again real soon.